What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We do have a few stories from the NASCAR world to discuss today. Let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Stewart-Haas Racing, who has partnered up with Novant Health to combat the COVID-19 virus. They have delivered 2 million face masks and are delivering to the Novant Health Center, probably around the Charlotte area. This is really cool. There's something kind of really cool, and I'm glad that they're doing this because this is going to help the community, especially in that area. Now we get into the next story. The NASCAR iRacing Series could possibly, and this just possibly, could wrap up at North Wilkesboro. This will conclude on May 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. The reason that this will be taking place on Saturday instead of Sunday is because of Mother's Day. There will be no plans as of right now to continue the series when racing does resume. As sources have told motorsports.com that there is an effort underway to attempt to run this race at virtual North Wilkesboro International Speedway. Now, let me just say this for the record. If this is true and people get to watch this live on Fox, you're in for a very, very good show. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they have ran races at North Wilkesboro on TV. I don't remember. They might have. I don't know. But if it's true that they've not ran at North Wilkesboro at the moment, this is the first time, then, man, some new underground fans especially are in for a treat. I know it's not a perfect, accurate representation of real racing, but North Wilkesboro possibly coming back as the final race. That's some really cool stuff right there. And in my honest opinion, this is what the esports Racing League should have honestly done at the beginning of this series. They should have gone to racetracks. They're not on the NASCAR schedule. Instead of going to Dover and Martinsville like they originally were supposed to go to. Go to racetracks like North Wilkesboro. Go to racetracks like, I don't know, go out to Rockingham and run there, or go run at Five Flags Speedway. Try to change things up a little bit because it's going to be better for the fans, and I think fans would be more interested in going to different racetracks. I think this is why the IndyCar series, in my opinion, even though I think the iRacing Rotational series has done really well, I think the iRacing IndyCar series has been pretty fun to watch. I think it's a better way to do that because I think you could possibly bring more fans in, especially old school fans who have not seen races like North Wilkesboro and Rockingham in years. You could possibly bring that back with North Wilkesboro coming back on the eNASCAR schedule. I think it would be really cool. If it does happen, I will definitely be watching live. If not, it is what it is. But I do hope that there is a possibility we do get to run this race very, very, very soon. Now we are going to talk about the 3 people who will be doing the pre-race inquisitories before we get into the big, big story of this episode. Jason Romano will offer the invocation for this race. Then David Hasselhoff will perform the national anthem. And finally, Blake Shelton will be your grand marshal for this race. I'm interested because I've never heard David Hasselhoff sing before in my lifetime. I thought it'd be Blake Shelton doing the national anthem and David Hasselhoff maybe doing the grand marshaling, but I'm interested in how David Hasselhoff's going to sing. I've never heard him sing before, so we'll see how he does when we do have the race. And now we get into the final story, and this is the big portion of this episode. So NASCAR has issued a rules update from rule standpoint due to COVID stuff and technical updates for the Ryan Newman wreck. So here are the rule changes coming into place. There will be no on-track testing for the rest of the 2020 season, not just for the Cup Series, but for the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series as well. Organizations are allowed only allocated 150 hours maximum in the wind tunnel through December 31st, 2021. Maximum usage was 70 hours in 2020 and 90 hours in 2021. Wind tunnel testing of next-gen vehicles by individuals not permitted, so they will not be allowed to do that. All remaining parts submissions meetings for the 2020 have been canceled as well. Minimum number of short block sealed engines have been reduced from 13 to 8. Organizations will be permitted to enter and use a chassis certified and recertified as well. Here also, teams are going to be allowed, they're going to be allowed to use backup cars, and it has to be kind of within the technical part. It has to be kind of like within a technical alliance, if that makes any sense. So basically, Stewart-Haas Racing, the Go Fast Racing, which is technical, could use a Stewart-Haas body. It's going to actually help these teams in general, and it's going to save teams possibly money as well in the long run. This is not just a big thing because it's going to save teams a lot of money. Also, you're not putting dry people at risk who are testing these cars. You're not putting people at risk of getting sick with the COVID-19 virus. I know usually you're not seeing a lot of people go to these tests and stuff, but I think it's very important that we just, in general, I think it does suck that there's going to be no on-track testing, but again, they are delaying the car to 2022. I'm talking about the next-gen car, by the way. So it does kind of make sense why they're not doing any of this until 2021. I wouldn't be surprised eventually if they do change their minds. Because again, this just right now, they could eventually change their minds when this COVID virus is over. But I'm not going to be expecting them to change it. It does suck because, again, I would love to see some testing. But it is what it is. I understand why they're doing it, but it generally sucks. Now we get into the other part, and this is kind of related to the Ryan Newman situation. A lot of this stuff is going to be revolved around the whole Ryan Newman crash. So, there's an addition of a lower main roll bar support, bar number 20, intrusion plate and upper main roll bar support, bar number 21. Mandatory at super speedways and optional everywhere. Elimination of the aero ducts at super speedway tracks. Reduction in size of throttle body from 59.64 inches to 57.64. Super speedways only. Updated roll bar paneling specifications, mandatory beginning June 1st. All reservoir tanks overflow expansion tank must contain a check valve, mandatory beginning at Dega. Slip tape must be applied along the entire length of the lower rear wind racing surface, facing surfaces of the rear bumper cover and extensions, only at the super speedways. Now here's what John Prost had to say about this. As teams prepare for the return to racing, we want to provide as much advance notice as possible for upcoming technical changes. Some of these updates are from the investigation of 6-car incident at Daytona and intended to produce a safe and competitive race at a Ventil. We look forward to providing more details in the future. So like I just said, they're trying, like I said, I think it's kind of like a cost-saving effort for a lot of these moves. But at the same time, I think the big one that everyone's kind of has been talking about is no testing, because you look at the next-gen car. We'll get into that. The next-gen car is supposed to come out in 2022 at the Daytona 500. And I kind of thought they maybe were going to test the next-gen car a little bit this year, especially in the year. I was not expecting them to start doing next-gen testing probably 10 year, but to know they're not going to be doing it, probably I would not be surprised if they start letting them do it at the conclusion of the 2020 season, because we got to get through the 2020 season. And I'm just not sure what's going to happen, to be quite honest, because who really knows what's going to happen? Like, how's this next gen going to do? And people were asking as well, why are they not running this car in 2021 and doing a 2007 style move? Because they found out it wasn't efficient, and I agree. It was too inefficient, too risky in 2007. It was cool, but it was too inefficient for the teams, and they were taking too much time to get out there. But I think interesting that they're not doing any testing, especially on the next-gen car. If they want to get this car picture perfect, I know that's not the main idea, but if they want to get this car picture perfect and ready to go for this season, they're going to need to have this car ready to go and make it perfect so that the fans watching the sport can be ready to go and watch this. So, anyway, there's a couple news stories I want to discuss, mainly about no on-track testing. That's very interesting. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications so you get notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Links in the description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. What do you think about that on-track testing is not going to be taking place through the rest of the year? Let me know in the comments below. We are getting very close to 150 subscribers here on YouTube, and I want you guys to, hopefully, if you enjoyed the video, to like and subscribe to the channel. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.